Oh my goodness, man. Look, we've got, these steaks are incredible. Got them nice and thick. These are about maybe 1.8 1.25 inches thick. You see a nice marblewood stuff with them. And we're going to smoke these or reverse sear. Now, this is my personal taste that I like to do for steak. I like a lot of flavor and stuff. Some people will just do salt and pepper, and you're fine just doing that. You'll have the smoke flavor and everything else, and you'll have just the natural taste of the steak. But I like to kind of take it a little bit further. So what I do is I actually make a marinade. I've got some red wine, some balsamic vinegar. Balsamic vinegar is kind of sweet. And I've got Worcestershire sauce. And I'll whisk that together. I like taking some fresh garlic, and I've already actually taken the skin off of that. Put fresh garlic on that, as well as a little bit of thyme. And of course, you know I love my chipotle chili powder, and I'll use a little bit of my Montreal steak seasoning in here. And I'll mix all this together, get it onto the steak, and let that sit for a couple of hours before we start the smoking process. Now, what's going to happen with smoking this is the fat and stuff will slowly get rendered, and it will become really, really tender. Not that a ribeye is a tough piece of meat, it's really not. But the fat itself will be actually incredible to eat. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chop up my garlic here. This will be incredible. And then we're going to smoke this. We're going to basically get our smoker at about 225 degrees. Indirect heat is what we want on here. We don't want the flame to be right up underneath of it. That flavor will go through. I will put a thermometer on this because I want to get the temperature to, internal temperature to about 110. And what we'll do from that point is we'll take them off of there, and we'll get the grill up as high as it will go, because we want to basically go in and then char this sucker really good to just seal in of those juices. So we'll put in our red wine. You put more red wine in there than, of course, you're going to put in the balsamic vinegar. You put in a little bit less of balsamic vinegar, and then lots of Worcestershire sauce. I love my Worcestershire sauce. So we got our marinade that's in there. Just kind of whisk this up just a little bit, just to make sure they're mixed up in there. We're going to pour that on top of these. Let's make it so you can see it, hopefully. We'll move these out of the way. We'll pour some of that on top of it. Okay. Grab a fork. Sprinkle some of the garlic on top of it. Sprinkle some of our grill mates. This has a little bit of everything in there. I just like to take things to another level. Put some of our thyme on there. And of course, I like a little bit of spiciness to it. With the chipotle chili powder. Fresh ground pepper. And we'll turn this over and do the same thing again. Look at that. Oh, this is going to be so good. Pour the rest of our liquid right on top. This will be so tender. Now what we're going to do is, I'm going to do some asparagus with butter and blue cheese on it for a nice side dish. And I'm going to do some mushrooms that I'll cook in the skillet with some onions and butter. That'll be a great side dish to it. We'll use a little bit of wine with that as well to let it thicken up. And that will be your steak seasoning that'll go with this. And there you have it. Look at that. Oh, look at those steaks. Is that a thing of beauty, or is that a thing of beauty right there? That's what you want this to look like. And what we'll do is we'll flip this over in about an hour just to make sure that all the liquid and stuff gets on top of it and soaks throughout. So we're gonna wrap this up, put it in the fridge, and then we're gonna start cooking these in the smoker. Okay, so we've got, the temperature had been up to 500 degrees to get the whole oven, the whole grill hot. Now you can see right now, we got great smoke in here and the temperature is slowly falling, but I'm gonna go ahead and put these on right now. And these steaks are really good and thick. Thing is, when you're doing something like this, you wanna make sure that you have thicker steaks. Real thin ones will get too well done in there. Now you can see, look at that. Look at how beautiful those are. Now, we took these out of the fridge about 30 minutes before we were going to go ahead and cook these because we want them to get closer to room temperature. And we're going to go ahead and put our probes in on a couple of them so we can keep an eye on the temperature. And you can see right now we're at like 46 degrees on them, but that's okay. So we're gonna play around with this. Right now I have this one on the very lowest setting. This one is almost at the lowest setting as well. And we'll watch this to make sure that we get the temperature right around 225. And see, we're getting, going up there actually rather quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this one off and see, and turn this one back a little bit. And basically, we want to get this temperature on here. It'll take about 45 minutes to an hour to get that temperature to about 120, about 105, 110 degrees. And that's when we'll take those off. But right now, we're good to go. So, looks like it's holding just a little bit below 250, and it's probably going to drop back, dial back a little bit more. And fortunately, we don't have any wind today, so we'll be good to go. But we got good smoke in here. Oh, these are going to be good. Inside, I've got some potatoes that are Greek potatoes that I'm going to put in the oven, just with some Greek dressing and some Italian seasoning and a little bit of salt. And we'll just basically bake those in the oven. And we're going to do a wedge salad to go with this. A nice wedge salad with some blue cheese dressing. And you've seen my blue cheese dressing, how I make that on other videos. So definitely check that out as well. All right, so we're coming out to check. You can see one of our steaks is at 81, the other one's at 79, and it's been about a half an hour so far. And let's take a peek. Oh, you can see they're just getting warm right now, and we're still getting a little bit of smoke out of there, and that's exactly what we want to have. We want this to get that smoky flavor and stuff on it. I'm gonna turn up the smoke just a little bit, try and get a little bit more of that smoky taste in there. But the thing is when you cook the meat slow like this, it will basically take the fibers and it will basically break them down, so it's going to be really, really tender. Now, this smoke flavor will go throughout the steak and will give it that smoky taste along with that garlic, that rosemary, that thyme, and the salt and pepper and the garlic. And it'll be really, really flavorful. Now, when you get this to about 105, 110 degrees, it's going to look kind of like, it's going to look kind of not that great. But that's where you go ahead and you fire that sucker up with the high heat and it sears it, and that's where the color will look fantastic. And then we'll finish it off with some butter on top of it, and it'll be great. Getting there. We're already at 120. So we're just gonna have to sear this other side. It's 120. We're almost done here. And once we get it up to, like I said, about 125 to 130, we'll take it off, we'll put the cover on it, and we're gonna let it rest, and we'll be good to go on this. Oh man. Then we're gonna go ahead and put some butter on top of it to let it finish. All right, we are here, and this is it. We're gonna put our butter on here. We're gonna let that melt, and this is done. We'll double check the temperature here on them. Getting that thick part. 110, 112, 113, 14, 15. Almost got a little bit to go. That's 127, 129, 130. Okay, those guys are good. I'm gonna take those and move those over here. Let that butter melt. Let this one get a little bit more on it. Oops. Don't want to lose my butter. That's how you do a reverse sear steak. And that is going to be fantastic. I know I say fantastic, delicious, and all that quite a bit, but it really will be. Double check that. It's about 120, so that one is the last one to get there. Then we'll take those off and we'll let them rest for a few minutes before we eat them. Alrighty, so I am, look at that. Oh, take a look at these. Okay, these are medium rare right here. We're letting them rest, but that one was the very first one that was taken off. And I am going to, because I have to actually go do a live stream, I am going to go ahead and check this one out here. Oh man, look at this. That is perfect. My goodness. Now, you look at that. Oh, look at that. Just as tender as it can be. I can taste the thyme. I can taste the garlic. I can taste the smoke. That's perfect. Reverse searing, it takes a whole lot more time, but even the fat is delicious on this. So we have our potatoes, we've got our salad, and we have our mushrooms here that has our wine reduction. This is it. Alrighty, good people, I appreciate you guys watching and being part of Cooking and Tailgating with Joe Boo. Peace.